to the channel, everybody. And today we're going to be talking about the technology that was in Noah's day and the technology that has reappeared. Very interesting stuff. But we're going to get started, of course, in Matthew 24:37. I like bringing this up so we can start the show off, right? But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. Now I also want to bring up the verse that you saw in the intro there. Ecclesiastes 1:9. The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun. What it's saying here is that what was done in the past is going to happen again. Very interesting stuff. Now we're going to get started with Azazel and what the watchers and the fallen angels taught men, right? So this is Enoch chapter 8, verse 1. And Azazel taught men to make swords, and knives, and shields, and breastplates, and made known to them the metals, and the art of working them, and bracelets, and ornaments, and the use of antimony, and the beautifying of the eyelids, and all kinds of costly stones, and all coloring tinctures. Now, if I could say something, this is just my opinion. I think women are more prettier without all that makeup, in my opinion, but that's just my opinion. Anyways, and there arose much godliness, and they committed fornication, and they were led astray, and became corrupt in all their ways. Semyaza taught enchantments, and root cuttings, which is pharmakia. Armoros, the resolving of the enchantments. Barachil taught astrology. Kokabel, the constellations. Ezekiel, the knowledge of the clouds, which also this can, you'll see the Vamanas and God, right? He comes in the clouds, right? So this could also have reference to vehicles and flying vehicles and stuff, right? But that's speculation. Auricule, the signs of the earth. Semshiel, the sign of the sun. Serial, the course of the moon. And as men perished, they cried, and their cry went up to heaven. Alrighty. Was there? Nope, that's not. Okay. Anyways, so this is where is this? The image was found on the ceiling beams of a 3,000-year-old New Kingdom temple, located several hundred miles south of Cairo and the Giza Plateau at Abydos. As far as I know, these aren't fake. As far as I know. But this is interesting stuff. Now, of course, this has been on the History Channel as well. So if you look here, there's a helicopter. Some people say that this is a submarine. I think this is more of those cigar-shaped UFOs that you see. You have what people are saying, hold on, a land speeder. I mean, interesting. But there's also this little ship thing here, right? In my opinion, I think they kind of missed that. You got this little guy, Zeppelin type thing, but who knows? Where is it? I think it's this one. So this is kind of like the steampunk kind of universe, but here's that. Some of these guys in the clouds. Interesting. See, a lot of it's in the clouds, of course, because they're in the air. But it's a ship, like that you usually see in the water, right? But it's that same thing that we saw here, in my opinion. Where is it? Right here. You can kind of see it. And it's not attached, at least in my opinion, it's not attached to this. But, so, and what do we see here? A helicopter, right? Right here. Now let me go back to this. The thing that hath been is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done. Right? There is no new thing under the sun. So have these vehicles returned, right? So let's move on. Here's the Vimanas. Of course, I brought this up on the channel before. So Vimanas are mythological flying palaces or chariots described in Hindu texts and Sanskrit epics. The Pushpaka Vimana of Ravana, who took it from Kubra, Rama returned it to Kubra, is the most quoted example of the Vimana. Vimanas are also mentioned in Jain texts. And you'll see these are carried by chariots, which is interesting. And also want to bring up the New Jerusalem, which descends from heaven and comes onto the earth, right? Kind of like this, somewhat like this, right? But probably way bigger because it's going to fit quite a bit of people. Not like billions and billions, but thousands, right? And probably more. But anyways, oops. So here's all the time, well, not all the times, but right here, Elijah ascends into heaven in a chariot of fire. Now, I do believe these are actual chariots with horses on fire because you have it right here that it'll say, see the sun chariot, and that they're pulled by chariots of horses and stuff like that. And see if I can find it. Anyways. So, you have the chariots of fire in the Bible. They appear a lot. So here's 2 Kings. Nahum, sorry. The chariots shall rage in the streets. That's not the one. Sorry. Yeah, here we go. Okay, here's a good one. Isaiah 66. Behold, the Lord will come with fire, interesting, and with chariots like whirlwind to render his anger and fury. 2 Kings. And it came to pass as they still went on, and they talked, and beheld, there appeared a chariot of fire, and horses of fire. Then you got Elijah. Let me see. Yeah. And the Lord opened his eyes of the young man, and he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha. These are in the air too, by the way. So crazy stuff. So we saw that. Now we're going to get into cities, right? So Genesis 4:17. And Cain knew his wife, and she conceived, and bare Enoch. And he builded a city, and called the name of the city after the name of his son, Enoch. So he's immediately building a city, which is interesting. Now, this is Isaiah 14:21. Now, this is kind of before the first, what I call the second age. You know, the first age, second age, third age is to come when there's a new heaven and a new earth, right? Anyways, so Isaiah 14:21, prepare a bad word for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. You know, God doesn't necessarily like cities too much. And it's very interesting. You know, let's say we use only, 25% of the landmass of the earth. But yet they tell us that we're overpopulated, right? I think we're meant to be spread out. You know what I mean? The more spread out, the more freedom we have and all that stuff, right? And the less we're bickering at each other and all that. But when you get people close together, man, they just something that just, brings a different kind of spirit, I guess. A depression, a spirit of depression or something, in which I think we're supposed to be more spread out. But anyways, that's neither here or there. And I want to talk so that way people can see they knew what metals were. There's people out there who say, well, they didn't know what metal and all this stuff and all that. But here, where is it? Oh, it's right up here. My bad. So this is chapter 67 in the book of Enoch, first Enoch. I would not pay attention to, but that's up to you guys. I don't want to tell you what to do or not to do. But the second and third Enochs are pretty bad. They're not, they don't necessarily, most of it doesn't agree with the scriptures and all that stuff. First book of Enoch does. And I've looked through it and stuff like that, right? So that's why I don't pay attention to the second or third book. You know, they kind of go on the Gnostic and then, you know, the Kabbalic train, right, with Metatron and all that stuff. But anyways, it's neither here or there. Okay, where is it? Here we go. Okay, chapter 67, verse 6, and so on. Convulsion and the convulsion of the waters. And when this took place, from the fiery molten metal, from the convulsion thereof in the place, there was produced a smell of sulfur. And it was connected with those waters, and talks about the angels who sinned and where they're at and all that. But he knew this was molten metal, right? And what do we have at the beginning there? Semyaza teaching the metals and how to use it, right? And not only that, stones and stuff. But anyways, that's a little bit further down the road there. Probably should have brought that up. But anyways, I want to get into Coral Castle, and then I'm going to play a video here. This Coral Castle is very interesting. Supposedly, this guy built it like in one night by himself. So, very interesting. And he ended up having to move it as well. Crazy stuff. So, Coral Castle is a oolite limestone structure created by Latvian-American eccentric Edward Leedskalnin, or Leedskalnin, sorry. 1887 to 1951. It is located in the unincorporated territory of Miami-Dade County, Florida, between the cities of the Homestead of Leisure City. The structure comprises numerous large stones, each weighing several tons, sculpted into a variety of shapes, including slab walls, tables, chairs, and crescent moon. A water fountain and the sundial is currently privately operated tourist attraction. Coral Castle is noted for the legends surrounding its creation that claim it was built single-handed by Leedskalnin and using reverse magnetism and supernatural abilities to move and carve the stones. Interesting stuff here. We're going to watch a little documentary here. This is from AstroLux777. We'll go ahead and subscribe and like the video. So if you want to check this out, I'll put the original video in the description and all that. So. Hold on, let me get it to better.
In Search Of has investigated the mystery of many ancient monuments, the pyramids, Stonehenge, and Easter Island. A solution to these puzzles may be concealed in Florida's Coral Castle. This monumental structure was created by one man with his bare hands in the 20th century. What strange forces created this castle of secrets?
So, see if I can
Secret by one man, Edward Leedskalnin, a frail little hermit. With no modern machinery and with no help, he somehow...
This is Leonard Leroy, oh, what's his name? Oh my goodness. Leonard Nimoy, sorry. You know, Spock.
And lifted every single block, a total of 3 million pounds.
Look at all that.
With all our modern technology, we might be able to duplicate the pyramids. But how could we ever do it with our bare hands? Dreamers beyond the fringe of science have postulated a long-lost art of harnessing anti-gravity. It seems incredible.
Sorry about
Ed
that.
Leedskalnin may have rediscovered these ancient secrets. Let's look at his life story. The mystery of Coral Castle began in rural South Florida just after World War I.
Let me move my mouse here. Sorry, guys. Ah, my goodness.
Settlers and land speculators began to move down from the East Coast.
Okay, so let's get to the more important stuff. Here we go.
This block weighs 9 tons. It's just one piece of rock. See what you can do with one hand?
Look at that.
He's quite interested in safety, I know that, and he always wanted to make sure the children couldn't get down in here, and that was his gate, keep children from going down the steps.
Those who knew Ed remember him with great respect. Charles Williams and Bodil Lowe.
I guess I was maybe 6, 7 years old. I was born and raised about 300 yards from this place, and I would see Ed quite often at the little country store we had, and he was a very slight man. I don't think he was probably any taller than I am. I'm about 5'6". Probably weighed somewhere in the neighborhood of 100 pounds. He always looked frail and sickly, but obviously very strong.
So you can see, not the strongest of guys. So how is he doing all this?
He'd say this is because of the stars and the moon, and he would go on and he would show us his electrical machine.
Now, I wanted to point that out real quick. If you remember, where is it? Ooh, crap. But anyways, if you guys remember, Ezekiel taught the anyways, okay. Hopefully you guys can see this and it didn't go out on me, but if it does, I'll put another video in there. But anyways, yeah, Kokabel of the constellations, Semyaza taught enchantments and root cuttings, Amaros the resolve of enchantments, Barakiel as taught astrology, Kokabel constellations, Ezekiel the knowledge of the clouds. Interesting. Ready? And Suriel the course of the moon. So, just remember that.
Now he made electricity. And
Okay. Sorry, I had to make sure everything was
he
on.
would jump in his bathtub and show how the water would come to certain levels and how he heated it with the sun. And he'd always divert your question.
As I say, a very gentle, kind person.
Okay. We're going to go ahead and end that. Now that's Coral Castle, modern megaliths of Ed Leedskalnin, if I said that right, from Astrolux 777. So, interesting stuff. Now we're going to get into some of these megaliths here, right? The ancient art of stone masonry and megalith construction. I want you to pay attention to how very tight these things are, right? I mean, just interesting stuff. I want to show you. Anyways, a lot of this stuff, some people say they had to have like some kind of melting stuff here. Where is it? There's a staircase that I want you to see. Where'd it go? That's not good. Hold on a second. Where is it? don't know. It was here. Oh, here it is. Okay. There we go. Take a look at that. It had to be like melted in there. So, very interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. I don't know if that's a cave-in or not, but I mean, something happened there. Okay, we'll go ahead and move on. Here's Tenochtitlan, or Tenochtitlan. My goodness. Also known as Mexico Tenochtitlan. I'll just say that. It was a large Mexican altep oh my goodness, Altepetl, and what is now the historic center of Mexico City. Now this, remember, Cain, Now You See TV did a thing on this. You can go ahead and check them out. It was a month ago or something like that, where they show you that this very well could be the Cain, or the city that Cain built. I mean, Enoch is right there. Remember, he named it after his son, Enoch. So there's that. And the exact date of the founding of this city is unclear. The date, March 1325, was then Lake Texcoco in the Valley of Mexico. I'm sorry if I'm butchering this, guys, but the city was the capital of the expanding Aztec Empire in the 15th century until it was captured by the Spanish. At its peak, the largest city in the pre-Columbian Americas. So, there's that city. Okay. Now I want to talk about portals. So, this is Enoch chapter 34. And from thence I went towards the north to the ends of the earth, and there I saw a great and glorious device at the ends of the whole earth. And here I saw 3 portals of heaven open in the heaven. Through each of them proceed north winds, and that which blow there is cold, hail, frost, snow, dew, and rain. Is this like a snowmaker? God's snowmaker, God's weather, right? Interesting stuff. Or is it a machine to manifest it, right? Through God or something. Who knows? I'm just speculating there. Okay, and out of one portal, they blow for good, but when they blow through the other 2 portals, it is with violence and affliction on the earth, and they blow with violence. So, crazy. Now I want to bring up CERN. And why is this guy here? Shiva. In front of it. Out, in front of the building there at CERN. It's very interesting. Okay, oops. Now I want to bring what he said here, and then we'll go ahead and end the video. Something may come through. Now this is the Register. This is in UK. This is a scientific journal type thing, or magazine, I guess, or news article thing. So it's legit, okay, if you want to say that. Something may come through dimensional doors at a LHC. Atop Bofin at the Large Hadron Collider, LHC, says that the Titanic machine may possibly create or discover previously unimagined scientific phenomenon or unknown unknowns, for instance, an extra dimension. Out of this door might come something, or we might send something through it, said Sergio Bertolucci, who is the Director of Research and Scientific Computing at CERN, briefing reporters, including the Register, at CERN HQ earlier this week. So, what was done will be done again. Now, one thing too, there's also people out there who say, I don't know if I'm one of them yet, but who say the Tower of Babel was actually a CERN-like device. I don't know. I keep that to speculation. It could be they wanted height, or it was a gate. Babel means the gate of the god, so that it could be true, you know. I just want to put that out there. So, anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this mess, even though I dropped my mouse and all that stuff. But thank you guys for being there for me. You know, I couldn't do this without you guys. And for all the people who keep watching this, and the channel just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and I thank you guys. And of course, you guys have a wonderful day.